Going on to you, Scorpio. So you have the King of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, Hierophant, Tower, Scorpio energy, Ace of Cups, the Moon, Three of Swords, the Strength. What is going on outside? The World, the King of Wands. There's a lot of stuff going on outside. Anyway, you have Taurus. You have your zodiac sign, right? You have Leo, Capricorn, Pisces. So for you Scorpios, right? The King of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, the Hierophant. This is about how you Scorpios, I see that a lot of you Scorpios, King of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, you have a lot to offer. But how do I say this? You Scorpios have a lot to offer to yourselves and other people, but people are spending way too much time paying attention to all the wrong things, right? People are trying to show you, people are trying to go around the world in 80 days. And what I mean by that is doing everything else other than actually being in a relationship with you. So a lot of you Scorpios will meet people, right? Y'all will exchange numbers. Person doesn't put in a whole lot of effort, right? And maybe you Scorpios may put in an effort, right? But they don't put in an effort. They tell you that they don't like you, start dating a bunch of people, right? But it looks stupid from the perspective of they never actually seem to last with the person that they spend their time going out on a date with. So the Hierophant now represents you or Scorpios having to understand to trust your gut. This person is trying to get your attention. It's not about, you know, these people. Why do you think it's about every time these people get a chance, they link up, they hook up with somebody else just to break up with them? They're dating everybody in the world but you. And you Scorpios told these people that you like them and that you think that you had a lot to offer them, but they seem to have a problem with you. All of a sudden, it's a problem with you, right? So they're dating everybody else while at the same time claiming, why can't they find somebody good? Or on one side or on the other side, they're looking for somebody that connects with them, right? But are they actually looking for that though? And the Hierophant represents to be able to remember to trust your gut, right? Especially in this reading, it's all about self-value. It's all about self-worth. And that right now your self-worth, Scorpio, is being tested because you've had to deal with so many people who act like they're not interested, but yet what are they doing, right? Because again, they're dating everybody in the world but you. So what are they doing, right? And yet they're complaining about their choices that they've made to you. What are they doing? Again, I've asked this question in the Aries video. What are they getting out of it? Because ripping and running around and talking to other people, it's not going to do anything good. It's not going to do anything beneficiary. It's just going to waste time, get you upset. It's stupid to play games in that regard, because as you're doing all of this, it's not going to be good in the long term anyway. So the Tower now represents, so a lot of you Scorpios have over time, right? And I want to say this, when I say over time, I mean a couple of days. A lot of you Scorpios just made the decision, right, after they would say that type of stuff, to just leave them alone, right? Because you Scorpios would have like a whole bunch of these people's numbers, especially if you out here dating, you'd be getting to know these people. And it just seems like everything is going good up until a certain point. And then now all of a sudden now they want to talk to everybody in the world, like I said, but you. And a lot of you Scorpios are walking away from it like, yo, this is whack, because it is. Like, what does it accomplish besides wasting time? And this is something that a lot of people who play games don't really anticipate, the time that they're wasting themselves. You know, it's like they think that they could put time up, like they could put money up, save 100 hours. You know, the way that they save $100 is like, that doesn't work that way, right? So if they wasn't interested in you in the first place, why were they trying to waste your time? So a lot of you Scorpios, Ace of Cups, you've decided to move forward anyway and begin to talk to other people. But one of the things that the moon, one of the things that a lot of you Scorpios have learned to stop doing too is you've learned to stop trying to be so-called friends with people who are ultimately wasting your time. Because the truth is that those people really like you, Scorpio, but they're dysfunctional. They're never gonna get off that stupidity. They're never going to get off that. And the reason why I'm saying that they're never going to get off that is because it's the truth. Like, people who have that type of mindset, right? Again, they like you. Because you got to understand, like, if a person doesn't like you, they're giving you a whole lot of information. That's a whole lot of personal information to know about somebody, right? Your phone number, your address, all this other stuff. Right, you know, all of this stuff when you're trying to get to know them, right? Or maybe you just got their number, which is still a lot of information, right? Right, too much information, especially if you don't want the person to know you like that. That's way too much information. That's way too much information to be given somebody you not really interested like that. So the person is interested in you. What it is they're showing their dysfunction. So you have to look at them like something is wrong with them, because there is something wrong with them, right? I can't tell you how many times I've seen pretty, beautiful flavors, right? Shout outs to Dave East for that, right? But flavors, and they tell me they got out of the psych ward. They're on these meds. They're on this. They got these pills that they take. They have this. They have that. And it's like, you know, you'll be asking yourselves, is this person using this as an excuse to not mess with me, right? To not be in a relationship with me? And the answer to that is, regardless of whether they're lying about it or not, they try to make themselves look like they're perfect. You understand what I'm saying? So the mere fact that they told you that puts a blemish on their perfect facade that they're trying to show to other people. So there's something special about you, right? When they told you straight up, I just got out of the psych ward, or whatever it is that they may tell you, that lets you know that they'll front to other people, but that's exactly the reason why it is that they can't date you, is because they like you. So the Three of Swords and the Strength now represents how a lot of you Scorpios now are in a situation where, since you've left behind those people that you realize that you're never going to actually find happiness from, it's hurting them, because they tell you the real. That's why it is I was trying to tell y'all, it's not always good to be in a relationship with every single person. Sometimes it's good to have friends. When people friend zone you, quote unquote, you could use that to your advantage, because people tell you things in the friend zone, as you are in the friend zone, that they won't tell you if you are in a relationship with them. So the situation for me is, I love when that type of stuff happens, because for me, right, as long as it happens in a good amount where I get a chance to still date, but at the same time, if a person is not interested in me, right, and they friend zone me, I love that in that regard, right? Because if I do, I don't stick around all the time. But when I do decide to stick around, they tell me things that they may not have necessarily told me if I was in a full-blown romantic relationship with them. Like, you got to understand, why would somebody tell you that they got out of the psych ward? Why would somebody tell you that they're on meds, right? If that's the case, right? If they're trying to put on this perfect image, right? So regardless of whatever the motive was, I am inclined to believe those people. And that's part of the reason why they can't date you, like I was talking about. Because you know too much. They tell you the truth, but they'll try to front and lie and put on a facade for everybody else. But they'll actually be in they'll actually get something physically romantic, if you know what I mean, started with those people. But they'll put you in the friend zone. And the reason why they'll do that in the first place is because you Scorpios are actually the people that they was in love with. They can't. And that's the confusion, right? Like that's the mix up. So they're most definitely in pain or hurt at the fact that you're not talking to them anymore. But the world and the King of Wands represents you Scorpios got to spread your wings and fly. You Scorpios are looking for a romantic relationship where it works. But you're thankful that those people helped you dodge this terrible relationship. So let's clarify the world. That's why it is that you can't take so much stuff so personally, because people will tell you the truth in your face, and you'll never, and unless you have the eyes and the ears to the eyes to see and the ears to hear, you will not realize the person legitimately told you the truth. They got out of the psych ward. They're not going to date you, but why would you want them to date you? They're telling you that they are crazy, right? They're telling you this. They're telling you that there's something wrong with them. But on the outside, they're physically immaculate. So let's clarify the world. You have the Death card, the Fool, the Four of Swords, and the Five of Cups, right? See, the Death card, right, and the Fool represents putting an end to the veneers that you've had to look through. And what I mean by that is you're starting, a lot of you Scorpios after this reading, right? Of course, you got to see it, watch it to the end. But a lot of you Scorpios are realizing that the veneers is coming off, right? The facade is coming down. You now know the truth. A lot of people who steadily spend their time fronting on you, trying to make it seem like you ain't this, they're actually sparing you the relationship, and they don't want to be in a relationship with you because you do something for them that a lot of people can't. That's why they have to give you so much problems. But the Four of Swords and the Five of Cups represents, but you'll never be in a relationship with them because too good to be true. And the thing about it is the Five of Cups represents, so you Scorpios just have to continue forward, right? No matter how pretty, or I guess built or whatever the person is, you still have to move forward because they're decommissioned. They're too out of touch for them to actually be in anything real with you.